You boys want to do trivia, eh?
I like to do trivia off the rip.
All right, here we go. Trivia off the rip. Trivia off the rip. Let's get into it. Total points is Ninner's at 118, Dixon's at 100, E's at 93. Oh shit! Should we include episode 53 though in that?
Oh yeah.
Okay. All right, I'm in. All right, so Dixon's leading, chapter 3, whatever we're calling it, season 3, right? So here we go. Here's the first question. Getting right into it. I like this. I like Chappie. Chapman.
Geraldus Chapman.
All right, here we go. Yes. Okay. This is first to answer. You ready? Here we go. What was the highest grossing movie the last time the Tigers won the World Series?
Avatar.
Titanic.
Wrong.
Tarzan.
Oh no, this was way back when.
Top Gun.
If you want a hint on the year, I can give that to you.
It's
84. 84.
Attaboy. Wow.
Star Wars.
Impressed by you boys. 1984.
Is this Star Wars?
Tigers won it all. Not Star Wars. No, you boys got to dig. You got to dig a bit. No, I think color came about probably just prior to this. 84.
Forrest Gump.
No, that wasn't out yet.
Keep going.
Star Trek.
That's a good guess.
It's not correct though. It's a pure guess. Not right.
Give us a category.
Category. I don't even know. Category would be like mystery, maybe. Maybe story. Can you see my rainforest or no?
Sherlock Holmes.
Is Tom Hanks in the movie?
No. What'd you
No,
say?
you can't give actors.
Is Tom Hanks?
I don't even know any actors. I'm the opposite of a movie person.
This is the
Roadhouse.
top grossing movie.
In 1984. 1984.
Grease.
Jaws.
Good.
Hairspray. Hairspray.
Good.
Those are good movies.
G. It's
Guy
also
Fieri's
G?
Drive-Ins and Dives.
Is my phone supposed to be vertical or hoary?
No, you're good.
Like that.
You're good.
All right, sick.
G,
Keep going.
G.
Cool. Ray.
GH.
Ghostbusters.
Also, fuck.
Correct, Nanner.
Wow.
Nanner.
There's only
One.
one word that has GH to start.
Ghost.
Oh, yeah. Ghost. Yep. Ghostbusters.
Well, there might be a few more.
That's a good movie.
I've actually never seen that movie before.
Never.
You've never seen Ghostbusters?
Me
Never
either.
seen
No,
that.
Never.
It's got Bill Murray in it. It's pretty good.
Shout out to Parker Brown who gave me that trivia question. Buddy at work. Okay, second trivia question. Here we go. Ninner's back in it. What are you at now, Nin? Let's see. Season 3 is Nin and Dixon are tied up at 4. E-Bag is at 3. No, 2. 2. I have 2. 2. Here we go. This one, first to say it, we might have to look at the receipts because of the connection here, but what states did Forrest G start and end his run in?
Alabama, Georgia,
Arkansas.
Savannah to California.
Alabama
Georgia,
is correct. Nin, you get
California,
Alabama?
Arkansas.
Nevada,
Oklahoma.
New Mexico, Arizona.
No, yes, Arizona. Nanner, great performance out of you there. You got
Louisiana.
That's up in Alabama. That's down in Mobile, Alabama.
Oh, shit.
you boys seen that movie, right? I think I've seen that movie.
Yeah.
You've had to have watched it.
I think I did. All right, Ninner's at 6. Let me piss real quick, but my connection's pure. This is sick. I don't have eggs still. Do you guys?
It just popped up. So
I don't see
Okay,
him.
guess number 21 from Traverse City, Mich. Decided to go to GV. I'm imagining he had offers from Auburn, Texas Tech, UCLA, everywhere else, because he lit it up in high school too, from prior research. You boys got X? Okay, I'm gonna keep going.
You're straight. You're just like this close.
Bro, brain's
Yeah,
already
he-
fucked up, dude. You're not supposed to talk.
It's old.
From Traverse City, went to GVSU. Accolades up and down, off the charts. Named to the 2018 All Nicholas team, 2018 First Team All American, 2018 All GLIAC team. No, GLIAC Golf of the Year. GLIAC Golf of the Year. 2019 GLIAC Golfer of the Year.
Oh, my fucking hurt you.
2019 Second Team All American. He's still in the background chirping a bit.
Oh, my
He
hernia's
was
popping
an
out right now.
academic- He was an academic piece too. Multiple times named to the All Academic Excellence team. And then probably most notable, Arnold, holy shit, do I have a list? Arnold Palmer Cup team in 2019. Member of Team Lacoste, or Lacosta. And
Connie, just redo the whole thing because Egg's fucking sitting here going, "Hey, am I good?" And Dixon's laughing the whole time.
okay, redo. Yes, they're good. We were gonna avoid you, but you're
Can you
in.
not
Yes,
hear
you're
us?
in.
Can you hear us?
Boy.
All right, leave it. Let Connie's go. Dixon, mute yourself. If you're gonna laugh.
All right. Go ahead.
Yeah, right. All right, here we go. Episode 54, guest number 21 is Alex Scott. Grew up in Traverse City, Mich. Went to Grand Valley State University. Rival of the Cards, but he lit it up there. 2018 First Team All American, 2018 GLIAC Golfer of the Year, 2019 GLIAC Golfer of the Year. You think he's playing at Stoughton Bray for those events? We'll get into it. 2019 Second Team All American. Academic piece too. He lit it up in the classroom with like multiple times named to the All Academic Excellence team, which is kind of unreal. And then here we go. Arnold Palmer Cup team member in 2019. Member of Team Lacoste now. I think that's how you say it. Team Lacoste, the sick alligator-looking logo. And he has played in 38 events on the PGA Tour circuit. Right? So, like, not 38 PGA Tour events, a couple times at Genesis and Honda and all that. PGA Tour circuit. So he's lighting up the Korn Ferry Tour, PGA Tour Latino America, I think, and PGA Tour Canada. So that's our guest. Guest number 21, Alex Scott.
PGA Tour Canada is not a thing anymore. I didn't know that.
I did not know that either. But let's welcome our guest. Yeah, he played on Canada, or no, whatever, Latino America, one of them.
I just let him know
Alex
you can
Scott,
come on in.
Okay, that's fine.
Just send, oh yeah, you can't even text. I would say just text, but you're on your phone. He's coming.
All right, so you boys look at his stag at all or no?
Oh yeah.
He's pure.
Egg didn't even know Egg didn't know who he was last week.
Yeah, I know.
Only the Impulsive
What?
podcast, brother.
And the Pat McAfee show.
Are you? Yeah. Mammoth head.
There we go.
We lost him. There he goes. We lost him
He
again.
couldn't even
He,
cook.
I
Couldn't even
I
cook.
don't know if he might
Just
be gone
leave.
for the rest of the epi. He says, eh?
Just let him
He
be.
might be.
I think the phone is the play.
You got,
Honey,
you
for
rocking,
me.
you rocking your card shit right now, brother.
Who? Ninner?
Yeah.
Al.
Oh yeah,
What's
no,
up?
kind of wearing it.
Hey,
What's up, bro?
Alex
What's
Scott,
going
what's
on?
what's up, guys? How are you?
Good.
We're doing
How are
great.
you
How
doing?
are you?
Oh, I'm doing fine. Just down here in Jacksonville, Florida, living the dream, as they say.
There you go. You already answered the first question. I was just going to ask where you at.
I am in
Jacksonville?
Jacksonville. Yep. I've been here. I first came here in January of 21. Spent a couple months down here. I knew one of my good buddies from college, Alex Nanetti. He works for the PGA Tour now, so I wanted to try this area out and texted him to see if there's any people from the tour who had any open rooms or anything like that. So got down here in 21, roomed with some people from the tour, all different departments and stuff like that. And but yeah, I've been coming back ever since, and I'm a little more permanently down here now. I'm in my own place since January of last year. So yeah, I enjoyed it. It's a great area. I try to tell people I don't particularly care for Florida that much, but I really like Jacksonville. Like I think Orlando is like the biggest waste of space in the United States. Like I
Oh,
hate
yeah.
that city, and so yeah. But I do like it here a lot. I don't really consider it Florida much. It's a bit different than the rest of the state, but yeah, Jacksonville.
Okay. All
It's a little
right.
bit of a different breed over there in Florida, the Jacksonville side.
Well, I mean, it depends where you are. Like if you're in the southeast, like Jupiter, Palm Beach, you get a lot of like New Yorkers and stuff like that. If you're on the southwest side, it's a lot of Midwesterners and everything. So just it is, and then Orlando, and that's just yeah, we don't gotta talk about them. But
You love
but
Orlando. I didn't know you had that much hatred towards Orlando.
no, it's
I like
just
Orlando.
I don't understand why you'd want to landlock yourself in Florida. It doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, like
Yeah.
for 9 months out of the year, it's hotter than hell down there. So it's
Oh,
like
yeah.
you don't have any way to escape the heat there. At least like if you're on the water, like you can kind of be near it and maybe get an ocean breeze or something, but you're not getting it there. So
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that is
Yeah.
true.
actually,
All right.
that
So
light.
appreciate you coming on.
Thanks,
Thanks
man.
for coming
Appreciate
on.
it. That's a little bit.
Grew up and did some prior research on you. Grew up in TC. A lot of this is from the GVSU website. No
Yeah,
cap.
no
So
problem.
we're not scraping out everything, but hopefully we'll get everything out of you. Grew up in TC. Where'd you go to high school?
I went to Traverse City West. So
Traverse City West.
yeah, the two big public schools. I went to the better one.
Yeah. The other one's Central, eh?
Yeah, no, it's funny. I grew up mostly on the east side. Well, I lived in the west side, but I played all my sports on the east side with east side kids because my dad coached most of my sports, and his office is on the east side of town. So instead of kind of having to go back and forth, growing up, we just were on the east side of town for the sports. And then once I got into the public school system, I was on the west side. So I was like, well, now I'm playing against all the people I grew up playing with. And so, but it was all in good fun. Yeah, no, but I went to Traverse City West. Yeah, I graduated in 15 and went to Grand Valley, graduated in 19. So,
What other
Okay,
sports
what
did you
was-
play in high school?
I played basketball, played basketball all 4 years. Football just my freshman year, stopped after that year, and then during most of the time when I was in high school, I mean, it's not a high school sport, but it was outside of that. I was a third degree black belt in Taekwondo.
Damn.
So
What?
yeah, so I did that. My older brother, he's actually still teaching there. He's about 5.5 years older than me. He's a fourth degree, and he's been an instructor there for like 15 years. So
Holy hell.
yeah.
How many degrees are there?
10. So
Okay.
yeah, I stopped training long ago, but it's still there, kind of.
Most
But,
most professional golfers aren't necessarily like intimidating or lethal, but you got something else going for you.
Taekwondo.
Yeah.
Athletes?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think anybody's looking at me all too intimidating standing at 5'7", but
They just don't know what
but,
you
know,
got.
it's yeah, hey, I got it in my back pocket just in case. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Tell us about the decision to go to GV. Obviously, historically, a sick D2 school athletically, but coming out of high school, what were the other offers saying, and where from?
Yeah, so I was a little bit of a late bloomer. I was a solid player, but I wasn't a world beater by any means, and kind of got onto the scene a bit late. I didn't really do the AJGA stuff. I mean, I did kind of junior year going into my senior year, and didn't really have any great finishes much. So I had some looks from places like Oakland and South Dakota State. That was honestly really it. It was those two schools that were open to me, and being a egotistical 16, 17-year-old, right? Like you're always kind of thinking, oh, I'm going to go D1. I'm going to go D1. That's it's always on your head, and that's just who you are, right? You want what you think is the best for you, and So Gary Bissell, who was my coach in college at Grand Valley, he was only 24 at the time. He reached out to me. He just got the head coaching job and wanted to bring me on for a visit and everything. I didn't really know much about Grand Valley, but I also, it wasn't like I was a real sought after kid, right? So I was like, I'm gonna, I'll take this visit. He seems like a great guy. He came and met me at the Michigan Junior Am. That's where he kind of started talking to me, and so honestly, it really happened like just as I got there. Like I really fell in love with the campus. Like obviously it has it's a D2 school, but when you're on the campus, like it really doesn't feel like that. I mean, 27,000 students. It's got great. It has great academics, great outside life. It's such a solid spot. And then Coach Bissell, being young and being able to kind of relate to him, right? Like he just got out of college, so we were able to kind of joke around, and that was mostly it. Like I knew that I had a good shot of being able to go there and play right away, so I would have a kind of a full 4-year career, and it was just all it was a really good thing coming together. It was so I think it's kind of funny looking back on it now. He offered me, and I kind of sat on it for like 2 weeks. The other two guys in my class, they accepted the offer right as they got it, Mitchell White and Bryce Messner. And so my college coach, Coach Bissell would just be like, "Yeah, Scott, you're giving me a little nervous. Like you were sitting there for a while." And I was like, "Well, dude, I didn't know what I was doing. Like I didn't have any older siblings that went through that, or cousins, aunts, uncles. Like it was kind of a first time thing. So figuring out, weighing the options and all this and that. And, but yeah, it's funny to look back on, but it was a great decision for me. I mean, I went there and really worked hard. I wanted to prove that I was, one of the best players in the state. And that was a goal of mine. And everything that was there, the practice facilities, getting to play in the tournaments, the coaching, like it really kind of unlocked my potential. So.
No doubt. We all four of us played at SVSU, so a bit of a rivalry there, no doubt. But tell us about so you got in there what year? 2016, you said? 15,
fall
16?
of 15. Fall of 15.
15,
Yep,
16.
yep.
SVSU was pretty solid at that point, if I remember correctly. That was before our time, but
No, they were pretty good. I mean, the GLIAC was pretty. It was pretty competitive then. There wasn't really any teams that were like, I would say, far and away better than others. I think we finished that year. We didn't win the conference championship. We lost to Tiffin back when they were in the conference. So actually, now that I think about it, the conference is way different.
yeah.
So
it's much different.
we had all the Ohio teams and stuff. So I mean, it was pretty deep. I mean, we had some really, really solid teams, and but I think we finished that year. We were number one in the region going into supers, and we just lost in the conference. And but yeah, no, I mean Saginaw was pretty good. We didn't actually. What's kind of weird, I don't really remember getting paired with them too often. I don't know why. Because usually when you have all those, I mean, they're not conference events, but it's all the same teams,
Right.
Like
Yeah.
you end up playing with all the same. Like we got paired with Tiffin like every single week. Like we just knew that we were going to be playing with them, and then we would get paired with whomever the host was that week. Because they would always put themselves in the top group. So, but no, it was I always enjoyed playing with Saginaw. I mean, there was a lot of guys. I mean, right? The Dice brothers were there. Yeah, Dice brothers were there. Dustin Pumford, he was there.
Yep.
Who else am I thinking of at the time?
Let's think. Austin Carter,
Jared,
Mason Mod, Jared Lyons.
Austin. I played with Mason a few times. Yeah, I don't think I ever got paired with Austin. I mean, obviously knew each other and stuff. Don't think we ever got paired together. Maybe we did. I don't know. Unfortunately, my memory's not as good as I thought it would be. But yeah, I mean, the GLIAC was really deep then.
Yeah.
I think we lost. Oh, there we go.
There he is.
Yeah, sorry, I was getting a call, so I had to
You're good.
swipe it up. My bad. But yeah, but I wasn't really saying anything important. But no, yeah, the conference was deep, and we unfortunately when all those other teams left, all the Ohio teams, and then we integrated. Like Purdue Northwest came in.
Yep.
and I think Wisconsin Parkside. I don't even were they ever even in the conference when I was there. I know Purdue Northwest was for a year or two, but yeah, no, the conference was good. We started to pull away a little bit. We got better and better each year that I was there, so that was good to see.
You ever play any? I don't know if SAG has historically always hosted an event, but the old Al Watrous at Saginaw, or it would have been Bay
Yeah,
Valley Country Club,
yeah.
right? At that point,
We played it
you remember playing
once.
there?
We played it once. It was my senior year, and yeah, we played it once. I think I finished like third or fourth on my team that week. That we went deep though. Like I think Mitchell won it. I think he opened with like 64 or something like that. I mean, just like everybody was balling. I shot like 73 in the first round. I was just kind of looking around. I was like, oh boy,
Right.
I got to get on my horse. But no,
Yeah.
we only played in that 1 year. I think didn't that used to be like an every 3 year thing or something like that?
That's
Like
what.
I don't.
Yeah.
That's what it always was. Every 3 years, I think.
Yeah,
COVID kind of screwed it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we only played in it my senior year. That was the only
Okay.
time. But
What'd you think of playing at the Meadows every day? You guys hosted fall event every year, I think. if I
right
remember
after I
correctly, man.
graduated, baby. Right after
Oh,
I
yeah?
graduated.
Oh,
All
yeah.
the good stuff happens after you leave. Yep, yep.
Right.
So
Exactly. Of course.
So the only time we got to play the Meadows when I was in college in an event is my freshman year. We hosted super regionals. So
Okay.
we had everybody there, and dude, if you want to talk to anybody who played in that tournament, it is by far and away still the worst conditions I ever played a round of golf in. I mean, the course was completely
Really?
unplayable. Oh, dude, the final round, it was a literal nightmare. It was, and I don't want to everybody always talks about these situations and like really exaggerates them. But I mean, it was like, I think the high was 47 and it was blowing
Brutal.
like 20, 25 with gusts over 30, and it was raining the entire day. And we were in like the afternoon wave of it, and the course was completely unplayable. Like every other normal tournament gets canceled, but with how like the whole committees and stuff go, like they have a vote and people want to play. And
Busy man.
if I put myself on Do Not Disturb, will that help?
It might.
Let's
Yeah,
see.
it might.
Let's see.
I don't think I've ever used Do Not Disturb.
Okay, here
Never.
we go. So you guys can still hear me. You guys can still hear me though, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. All
Yeah.
right, so anyways, weather's terrible, and we go out, and we were in a good position. I don't remember what we started the day, but we were in like I think sixth or something. It was top five that year. I think moved on to nationals. So we feel like we got home course advantage, but the weather's so bad it hardly even matters. And
Right.
I'm hitting. So if you guys have ever played there, I started on number 10, and it was howling straight into the wind, and I hit driver 5-wood short of the green.
Holy hell.
I didn't
Holy
get
hell.
there. Yeah, driver 5-wood. I laid up on one with a 3-wood. I had 60 yards in. Dude, it was insane. And so we started on the back, and I'm making the turn. I was a freshman. Like, I didn't really have a great freshman year. I kind of randomly, I tied for first at the conference championship, and I lost in a playoff, which was just like it was very kind of out of nowhere. I didn't really have any other good finishes other than that. And so we're making the turn, and my dad's like, "You're in the top 10 right now." I was like, "What?" So I proceeded to do like 46 on the back.
Oh,
No.
And oh yeah. I absolutely, I mean, I imploded along with basically everybody else in the field. So, it's the top 20 teams, whatever, from the Super.
Yeah.
And the individual scoring average that day, we played it as a par 71. It was like 82.5.
What?
It was, oh yeah. Yeah, you could go back and find the golf stat leaderboard on it, like in the archives. It'd be whatever, 2016 Midwest Central Super Region. I mean, it is embarrassing. Like it is crazy how bad
Holy
the
hell.
scores were. And actually, if I remember correctly, I think Saginaw Valley got through. They
Yeah.
went
That sounds right.
they went off in the morning. In the morning round, like the morning wave, it wasn't, I mean, it was still bad, but it wasn't quite as bad as what came in the afternoon, and they like posted a score. I mean, they were in like 16th or something or 15th, and I think they finished 5th. I think they got in.
Holy hell.
Yeah. Oh man, I wish I had the leaderboard right now. I mean, if one of you guys wants to find it, but it is
Cool.
yeah,
Yeah, right.
it was incredible.
We'll look into it.
But regardless of that, what I was more getting to is like being able to play the Meadows every day, in college. Like, talk about a place of getting better. I mean, that is a very real golf course. I mean, it's always in great shape, and there's a lot of, especially like visually off the tee. You really got to get comfortable, really confident off the tee, and we just had, I mean, we had great practice facilities. I mean, we had our own wedge range for the team only. We had a kind of our own like range spot that only the team can be in, so we wouldn't really get bothered or people be around us and stuff. And no, I mean, we really had everything we needed to get better as a team, and that was one of the best. I mean, even in the winter, the same way. Like we had a TrackMan that we set up indoors, was able to hit into a net, and then 2 days a week we were able to go into the Kelly Turf Building, our indoor football field, and we were able to drop a net about 40 yards out and see shots fly for about 40 yards. So
Yeah.
yeah, we had all ample opportunity to get better at Grand Valley for sure.
You ever make it back there or no? To GV?
Yeah, I try to. I went to the GV Ferris football game this last fall. It was incredible. It was unreal. We were
Yeah.
up 35-0. Gosh, it was fucking awesome. But yeah, I try to go back every once in a while. There's actually a new coach there now, Gareth Lappin. He took over. I've only been able to chat with him just a little bit. I haven't actually really been in Michigan since he got the job. So hopefully, kind of this coming summer, if the schedule works out, it'd be nice to kind of get in there and be able to meet him in person. And sometimes I try to get there to practice with the team. I did, I think, 1 or 2 practice sessions with them in the spring of last year. So, yeah, they have a really, really good team right now. They're getting ready to start their spring season. And, I mean, they made it to nationals last year, played quite well. And I think right now they're ranked like 3rd or 4th in the country. They're really solid.
Yeah.
And that's even after losing, Charlie DeLong, who he won, D2 National Player of the Year last year. So, they're still really, really deep, really solid. So hopefully they can keep that up for the rest of the year.
That's ridiculous.
Are
the
you,
depth they have on that team?
Yeah. Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Everybody from like our age, Nin, and
Mhm.
Dixon, your age, I think all those boys are coming back, right?
Where did
Koval,
Bissell go?
Kruger.
Bissell took the job at University of Denver.
Okay.
Yeah. Are you still in
Yeah.
touch with him at all or no?
Yeah, no, yeah. Coach and I are close. It's more of a like, not really from a coaching standpoint. I mean, we're just friends now. But yeah, we talk all the time. I mean, normally we're just like talking about anything. It's hardly ever golf, actually. Like, we're usually talking about like, we love the NBA. We talk NBA a lot and joke around and stuff. We're always sending each other funny videos on Instagram and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
So
That's sweet.
yeah, we remain close. It was funny, like kind of my first 2 years in college, I would say that it was more of a business relationship. I was the player, the student. I was there to get better. I was trying to earn my spot and everything. And I mean, we would joke around a little bit here and there, but it was more kind of, I would say, business casual between us. And then but then my junior year, like I started off really well and kind of kept it going. And I kind of, not that I did my own thing, but I kind of had a good thing going, I guess, best way to put it. And so he just, he didn't really have to mess with me a ton, and he knew that I was always putting in the work. So we were able to kind of be a little bit more, joking with each other at the time and stuff. And that really carried through college. I mean, he's one of my closer friends that I have. I mean, I know, like, I could call him up at any time and, he'll pick up, and we always tend to have, half hour, even hour long chats from time to time. So no, it's, yeah, we have stayed close.
Yeah. That junior year is when you really started lighting it up, from what I can see.
Yeah, it was
2018, right? 2017,
Yeah,
2018?
2017 into 18. Yeah, it was we're trying to explain it to people because a lot of people ask, like, what did you do or what happened, and the answer is nothing. Like I
Yeah.
didn't really do anything. Like golf just clicks for people at different times. And going into my junior year, I won the GAM championship, which was just kind of a big breakthrough for me. Like I I was always somewhat of a consistent player, but I never really had many good finishes in like GAM events. And I I really played well. I went off in that event. I was just like unconscious for the last like 18 holes, and fortunately like made it easy on myself. Like it was just, every good golfer, right, has been in the zone, right, at one point or another.
Oh
And
yeah.
it's like you're just reacting. Like it feels like basketball. Like you're not thinking about your golf swing or this putt or that or the other. You're just like, it's 160, 8 iron, boom. And you just pull it and you're going to hit a good shot. And so I win that. And then, yeah, I got into my junior year and just kept it going. I feel like that really kind of got the confidence up for me after that GAM win. And, yeah, kept it going. Like I was in a kind of a comfortable spot. I was always playing with a lot of the same guys, like had a lot of the same pairings, and so I just felt more comfortable. And that's really what golf is, man. Like every level that you go up, like it's hard to the verbiage I always try to use is like you have to take up your space. Like even though you move up to another level or whatever, you know, you're there for a reason. Like you belong there. You're in the tournament for whatever, because you earned your spot on whether it's your college team or in a PGA Tour event or a Corn Ferry event or whatever. So, you got to get out there. You got to get on the range. You got to get on the course. Know that you belong and do your thing. And it's a difficult game to do it in. I mean, there's a ton of good players. So I felt like I, really, really belonged at that point, and just had a really consistent year. I didn't really have a lot of low rounds, but I didn't have any bad rounds. Really, well, in terms of score, really, I didn't have any bad rounds, and yeah, had a really solid year. Went to the national championship and finished seventh. And so yeah, it was a great way to cap it off. And then I had a really good summer after that too. So yeah, it was a fun year. It was great. So
And then 2018 though, at the end of that junior year, you were a nominee for the Nicholas Player of the Year, right?
yeah, I was a finalist. It didn't really feel like it because, dude, I mean, that year, Chandler Blanchett and John Vanderlaan, who they're currently they're fully exempt on the Corn Ferry Tour. John's been out there ever since he turned pro, and Chandler's always had like conditional status out there, and he's got full status now. And I mean, they dominated the Southeast region. I mean, it was insane. Like they were always in the same events, and I think there was only one event that entire year, like that it was their senior year, my junior year. I think there was only one event that entire year, including like playoffs, that only one other person won the tournament if it wasn't one of those two.
Holy hell.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And it was in the Southeast region. So like, you know, I mean, right in the Midwest and the Central and stuff, like you have a lot of good golfers, but like there's a big like team gap when it comes to the Southeast, right? Like,
Right.
you get like Grand Valley's really good right now. They're a Midwest team, and usually there's some West Coast teams like Chico State or Colorado School of Mines. Like they can get really good, but I mean, dude, there's always the top like
Barry, Lynn.
12 of the top 15 teams in D2 are in the Southeast region, and they can only get a maximum of 7 through to the national championship. So,
Yeah, that's nuts.
yeah, so I really felt kind of you know, second fiddle to those guys. Like I was a finalist, but I was like, dude, you look at these numbers, like it doesn't stack up.
Right.
Like I had a really good year, but they were another echelon above everybody else. I mean, even the third best player or whatever. So, but yeah, I was Nicholas finalist, and I turned right around into that summer, and I qualified for the USAM for the first time, which was a real kind of, I was first alternate the prior 2 years for the USAM. So it was finally, it was really nice. It's really nice to get that out of the way. I made match play there, and I also won the tournament champions up at Boyne. So,
Oh, all right.
Nice.
yeah, I kind of randomly, I blacked out for about a 5 hour period. I shot 61 in the final round, and then I won in a playoff, and then I woke
What?
up. Yeah,
I'm pretty
and then I
sure.
woke
I'm
up.
pretty sure
So it
Connie
was
was
cool.
blacked out that day too.
Yeah. Wait, what course? The Heather?
Alpine,
Okay,
the
okay.
Boyne Mountain. Yep. So yeah, it was a really good. I mean, and my senior year was good too. It wasn't quite the same, what I would say, statistics as my junior year, but kind of had like a 14-month stretch there where a, a lot of things went well for me. So
I mean, damn near your statistics were about the same as your junior year. Looking at it, I mean, it was about a shot or
it was.
two above your scoring average your junior year, but still, you how many college events did you win?
Oof.
That should be a trivia question at the end of this episode to you.
It was like,
I
I
can look
think it
into
was
it.
like six or something. I think it was like six. I tied for first in 2 conference championships, and I lost in both playoffs. So
Oh shit!
the record book sometimes is weird. Like, I think GolfStat might have considered those as wins, but like it depends on how you look at it. I wouldn't consider them as wins because I lost the tournament. But
Right.
I think I won like 5, but I didn't win any until my junior year. So
Okay.
it wasn't like it was really spread out. I did it all in
Racked
those
them
last
up
2
quick.
years. So
Where
Yeah,
was
yeah.
conferences at for you?
it was at so my first 3 years it was at, well, it used to be called Longaberger Golf Club. Now it's called the Virtues. It's in like
Yep.
super southeast Ohio, like it's damn near in West Virginia. And then my last year it was at Bedford Valley, baby, my my favorite golf
God.
course of all time. I won it that year though. I hate that place, but I did.
There you
I did
go.
win it. So
I mean,
what a
it's
great
got to
time.
be better than Stoughton Bray.
I have never played Stoughton Bray, so I don't
Oh,
know.
bro,
It
you
was
can
it
stay
was
away probably.
it was supposed to be at Stoughton Bray my senior year, but that was when the course was like brand new, so it wasn't
Yeah.
ready yet. So they I mean, not last minute, but pretty, close to it. They switched it over to Bedford Valley, and we played there my senior year. So I really, really loved the Virtues. Like, that golf course is so sick, and I wish they would have kept going there. But I think the only reason why they really did is because we had all the Ohio teams. So
Right.
geographically, it made sense. Kind of, we always knew it was going to be better weather, and then then we moved to Bedford Valley at the end of April, and I'm like, what are we doing? I'm
Yeah,
like,
right.
dude, this is Michigan golf in April. Like, anything can happen.
Yeah, that's
And
pathetic.
it was,
Yeah.
and sure enough, I mean, the weather wasn't it wasn't great. It wasn't, I guess it wasn't terrible, but it was not stellar by any means. So
I heard
So
the Virtues
Alex,
is a good track.
Alex,
great track. Yeah.
you obviously are one hell of a player, okay, and you're humble as well. But what I want to know, I want to hear you tell me, like, what's your home course right now? Where are you at?
So right now, actually, I joined a new place called the Yards. So the Yards, it's here. Well, it's in Ponte Vedra. It's inside the gates of TPC. So I practiced at
Okay.
TPC Sawgrass last year when I had my Corn Ferry status, but then I lost it, so I wasn't able to practice at TPC anymore. So I had to find a new place to practice.
you
and
play
now
there
I'm
now?
at the Yards. It's got. Oh yeah, I do. Yep.
Okay, so you're out there playing
Oh.
all the time, right? What's a number
Oh, there you
that,
go.
like, at that course, where you like roll your eyes at that number after you finish the round? Like, what's a bad number for you? That's what I want to know.
Man, a bad number. I don't know. So I will admit, like, I am not the best practice player. I will say, like, I'm not really one who's all that great in practice rounds or practicing by myself. Like, I'm always a little bit probably in my head. So I don't too often, and honestly, I probably need to get a bit more caught up in trying to score while I practice. I'm usually out there like fiddling with my golf swing or whatever. But usually I just want to see kind of like how the shots are and like see where my misses are and how, like, how I'm hitting putts, how I'm hitting my drives. Like if I'm trying to curve it left to right, like do I actually accomplish curving it left to right? Like even if I were to overcut it and miss it in the right rough, like that doesn't, I don't mind that, as long as I'm trying to accomplish these little things and kind of get things moving the way they need to be. That's what I like to see. But dude, out here, I mean, so it's got nine normal holes, and then it's got what's called the backyard, which is six par threes. So if I'm only playing like the nine hole, like actual front side, I mean, these, dude, it's a pretty incredible place. I mean, if I'm shooting under par, 2, 3 under par, like I'm feeling good. Like it's probably what I kind of should be doing. You know, I definitely shouldn't shoot under par. You kind of, or sorry, over par. You have enough scoring opportunities with it, but it's such an awesome place. Like you get a lot of great guys coming through. You get a lot of PJ Tour guys about now because it was last year actually. Adam Scott went and practiced at the yards, and he's like, this is probably the best greens of prep for me to get ready for Augusta.
Really?
That's what he said.
That's insane.
Yeah,
Damn.
they are so. It used to be called Oak Bridge Country Club, and sold off, closed. So they sold off kind of like 6 of the holes on the back 9 to turn it into houses and property and stuff. And they regrassed the whole place, kind of reshaped some of the greens and stuff. But the greens are amazing, dude. Like they are so fast and they're firm all the time. And like, I mean, it's legit. I mean, you really have to be on, like, in terms of, if you're on some slower greens with putting, like you can get away with some mishits or speed control and stuff. Like it's not going to go that far by. But dude, like I've fallen asleep out here a couple times where like if I'm playing and, I'll blast a couple putts by and I'm like, dude, like what am I doing? Like what is going on here? So, but no, it's a great place. They have a really, really good vibe. What they went for there, it's very casual. They welcome anybody. It's a awesome spot. Like they have a Barstool event out there during Players Week, and it sold out in like 12 minutes when the openings came up.
Damn, that's crazy.
So it's a popular spot now. Like the word's really getting out. Like I used to say it was the best kept secret in Ponte Vedra, but it is no longer a secret. Like it is definitely out there. So.
That's sick.
Okay,
Who are some of those- you mentioned Adam Scott. Dixon,
ahead.
let me go here. What are some other big time names that everybody would know that you've either practiced with, played some money games with, or just seen on the range in your career so far?
Yeah, so when I was at TPC, the normal guys in terms of like people would know, Billy Horschel's out there a lot. VJ, when he's around, he goes there quite a bit. Let's see here. I would say those are definitely the most known in terms of, there's other guys like, Fred Funk is out there often.
Wow.
Yep. He was living in Austin for a bit and moved back. There's a lot of pros in Jacksonville, but in terms of like directly at TPC, those are definitely the biggest guys, but there's other, Tyler Duncan, he's on the PGA Tour. Jimmy Stanger, he just graduated to the PGA Tour. Carl Yuan, he's on the PGA Tour. So there's a lot of names, but there's a ton of Korn Ferry guys too. Cody Blick, Dawson Armstrong, Jared Wolf. Yeah, it's a great group of guys over there. Unfortunately, not being able to go over there now, I don't really get to practice with them, but that gets you out of bed every day, trying to get back there
Right.
and be with those guys. But there's a ton of guys, man. The list is endless. In terms of like other guys in the area who don't necessarily go to TPC, you have like David Lingmerth and Russell Knox. Jim Furyk lives here. Sam Ryder, Doc Redman.
Shit.
Yeah, dude. Thomas Walsh, he's on Korn Ferry Tour. Yeah, there's actually we just had some young guys move in. Fred Biondi, he won the national championship at Florida last year.
Yeah.
Adrian Dumont de Chassert, he played at Illinois. He won his first event on the Korn Ferry Tour, and then he lost in the playoff in his second one, just like
Holy hell.
over the PGA
Damn.
Tour. So yeah, there's a ton of guys. There's no shortage of games. There's a ton of pros in Jacksonville. So
Where are most of the other guys at? Like honestly,
Uh,
like where do most pros like? I know the like JT. He's down south
he's
in
in he's in
Medalist,
Jupiter.
right?
Yeah,
Jupiter, right?
yeah. He's at he's at Bears Club. He's at Bears
Bears
Club
Club.
Is it?
mostly.
Give me like 90% of guys are in Florida or what? Arizona,
No, I don't
Texas.
know about 90. So like Jupiter's a little bit of an anomaly because that's where that's where a lot of the big guys go, right? Like who
Right.
got a lot of cash. But other than that, I mean, Dallas is a really popular place. Because there's just some like there's a lot of people who practice at Merido there. Dallas National, Spieth, Bryson. There's a bunch of
Okay.
guys out. The Cooties are in Dallas.
Yep.
And then Phoenix is a real popular one too. I would say, really the state of Florida. Until you got there's a lot of people in Jacksonville, a lot of people in Jupiter. Then you got Dallas and Phoenix. I mean, that's going to cover a lot. Maybe Houston a little bit too. There's some people there. But it's really, I mean, dude, there's people all over. Even PGA Tour guys. I mean, PGA Tour, right? The season is so long that like you're traveling so much, you don't necessarily have to live somewhere where like you gotta be like it's gotta be warm all the time, because they're going to events and stuff. So they probably like once the off season hits, like they don't care where they are. Like a lot of them
Yeah.
probably don't really, it's not like they get to grind in right as the season ends. They want to take a little time to themselves. Like Ryan Brem, who is on the PGA Tour, won the Puerto Rico Open a couple years ago. He lives in Traverse City full time. I mean, he's up
What?
there, and oh yeah.
He's not a Pleasant guy.
Yeah, he's from Mount Pleasant, but yeah, he lives in Traverse City, and yeah, at least I don't think he goes anywhere else. I mean, I'm sure there's. I've talked to him in the past where he's gone like a couple weeks and stuff to Florida and all that, but in terms of like long lengths of practicing elsewhere, like no, he's in Michigan most of the time. So
Oh wow.
Isn't J Day in Ohio?
yeah, he's in Columbus. Yeah,
Yeah.
or no, Akron maybe. Where's the Firestone at? Or was?
Yeah, Akron.
Akron.
I think Akron.
Or maybe he is in Columbus now. Yeah, I think he is in Columbus because I think he practices at Muirfield some. But actually,
Yeah,
I saw
yeah.
Jason Day at the range at TPC. He was one of them. In terms of guys who don't live in Jacksonville, but I've seen here, a lot of people kind of come through at times because the back range at TPC Sawgrass is unreal. Like, it is such an amazing practice facility that a lot of guys, if they don't want to fly all the way home, if they're like taking an event in between, they'll just fly to Jacksonville and they'll practice at TPC. So
Okay.
there's also a lot of like corporate sponsorship shoots out there. So like Jason Day was there. I don't really know what he was doing it for or like what sponsor, but he had a bunch of cameras around him and stuff. But I've also just seen him out there practicing. So one of the times, like I just stopped putting because he was chipping and obviously he's like one of the best chippers in the world. So I just stopped and I just watched and I was like, this is just like poetry in motion here. Like if I'm going to learn anything, I might as well just use my own two eyeballs. So, seeing him practicing there. Adam Scott was there once. He was doing I don't know how to pronounce it. The Uniqlo, his apparel.
Yeah.
He was doing it. He was doing a shoot there, so he was like in and out, all these different outfits and stuff, like hitting
Yep.
shots. So I saw him there, but yeah, those are probably those are the big names I've seen on the
Yeah,
range.
that's
You know,
cool.
they don't live there, but those are the big names I've seen. So.
Right. Tell us about
Oh, I
the
saw
process
Scheffler. I ran into Scheffler, Scotty
Scott-
Scheffler in the parking lot
Scotty.
too.
That's
yeah,
pretty sweet.
yeah. So it was pretty random because like it was in November of this year. December because he was getting ready for the Hero. So he just like I pull into the lot and I open my trunk and he gets out of he was clearly in like a rental car and he gets out and I like kind of double take it. I'm like, hey, I'm like, what? I'm like, number one player in the world, and he's just like,
Yeah.
"Hey man, how you doing?" I'm like, "Good."
That's sick.
And so yeah, that was a cool thing, but yeah, so you see a lot of guys passing through for sure.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Tell us about
That's sweet.
the process of turning pro. Like everybody knows it's like a humongous grind. Like I want to hear like did you have a bunch of money like going down there traveling all this like all these places? Like what'd you do right out of college? Like were you set on moving down to Florida, grinding, and then just qualifying to potentially make it on a mini tour, or what?
Yeah, so kind of how it all started for me. My senior year, the last semester of my senior year, I went and played PGA Tour Canada Q School, and I got conditional status out there, so I wasn't going to get any starts, but it was definitely like a good experience. And having any PGA Tour sanctioned status comes with like a lot of benefits. You can practice at TPC courses for free. Not all of them, depending on what your status is, but you can practice at most or all TPC courses for free in the country. You get reduced rates to play in Monday qualifiers and stuff like that. There's a lot of great things that come with it, and but I finished up my college career. I turned pro. I immediately, in my first week as a pro, my appendix decided to almost burst on me. So
No
I had to
way.
get, yeah, it's kind of funny looking back on it now. But so I had that surgery and I was out for a little bit. But besides, no, most people don't have that when you first turn pro. But so for me, that summer I played like in the Michigan Open, and I tried doing some Monday qualifiers to get into some. I actually got into 2 Canadian Tour events. I Mondayed into them in Winnipeg and Montreal. So I played in both of those events. I missed both cuts, but again, it was cool to feel like I was a part of it, like I was in
Right.
doing what I was supposed to be doing. And so then in October, I actually just kind of up and I moved out to Vegas from October 2019 until COVID started in 2020 in March. So I have a close family friend out there. He had an open room, and I said, well, I was like, I have a free place to stay and I can go practice at TPC Summerlin for free. I was like, why not?
Right.
So I got in my car. I drove all 29 hours out there, and I didn't know anybody. So I just had to introduce myself to everybody that was out there. So I ended up getting close with some people and able to practice. I played actually quite a bit with Alex Kang, Daniel Kang's brother, and
Okay.
played some rounds with Scott Piercy while I was out there, probably about 4 or 5 rounds with him, and John Oda, who is a very solid player. He was full on Corn Ferry at the time, and yeah, so I was out there, played some Outlaw Tour events, which was down in Phoenix, and then COVID happened. So COVID was pretty bad timing for what I do, but so I really didn't have any status to do anything with. I technically had conditional Latin America status, but I wasn't going to really do much with that because COVID really burned all that down. But so that summer, I went and played almost the entire Dakotas Tour, which if you ever want to know, I mean, the Dakotas Tour is a legendary mini tour that's run for about 2.5 months in the summer between North and South Dakota. And it is some of the, I mean, regardless of the rest of my career, I mean, I can go be on the PGA Tour and I can win a major and I can have all those things. But dude, some of the funniest moments of my career are always going to come from the Dakotas Tour. Like
The Dakotas Tour.
oh yeah, we had a group of Michigan guys that went out there for the entire summer. It was me, Josh Gibson, Sam Weatherhead, and Ben Van Scoyk. I mean, we were out there and it was a riot, dude. Like we traveled around together. We played all our practice rounds, played a bunch of money games, drank some beer. It was a grand old time. Yeah, yeah. But so really, when you kind of first turn pro, if you're someone like me who, yeah, I was a solid college player, right? But I'm not like these, Fred Biondis and Nick Dunlaps and those guys, right? They're going to get PGA Tour sponsor exemptions, or they're even going to get Corn Ferry status as a PGA Tour U. That didn't even exist when I was in college. But so really, you got to try to make your way. And at first, those first couple 2-3 years, all I did was try to play as much as I could. I played in a lot of mini tours, a lot of Mondays, trying to get as much experience as I can under the gun, and playing for money and playing against good competition. And but really, when I really learned what I would use the term as becoming like a pro's pro was when I got to be on the Latin America Tour in 2022. I got full status down there, played the entire season, finished 29th on the points. So I kept my card out there, and that's where you really learn, what I would consider the grind. You are traveling just like any other tour pro would. You're flying across borders, Ecuador, Peru, Brazil, Argentina, Colombia,
Damn.
Mexico. You're going to all these places, and you show up on Monday, you play 9 on Monday, you play 9 on Tuesday. If you are in the Pro-Am on Wednesday, you play in the Pro-Am. And then the tournament starts on Thursday, Thursday, Friday, you make the cut. Okay, you play Saturday, Sunday, boom, you're on a plane. Sunday night or Monday morning, you're flying to the next country. Then you do it all over again. 9 holes, Pro-Am. And, it is nonstop. It is really hard on your body. I think that's one of the most unheard of things when it comes to pro golf is just how physically taxing it is. You're out playing 80, 90, 95 degree weather at times for, you're out there 5-6 hours, whatever, practicing, trying to work out. It's a difficult thing. It really beats you down. You're on planes all the time. But you really learn the ropes about, because that's what everybody's trying to do, right? You're trying to be on the PGA Tour, which runs the
Right.
exact same system. Thursday tournament start, play, you got to make the cut to play Saturday, Sunday. So really that year was probably the most I learned about, how to be a pro, what to do, the process. It was a lot of it's a bit of trial and error, finding what works for you. Some people always take Monday off completely. Like that's a travel day for them, and they don't do anything other than they might work out, to try to get their body moving from, getting off the plane. But some people take Monday off completely and then they grind on Tuesday. Some people only play 9 holes each day. Some people try to see the course twice. I mean, everybody's got their own thing, and you don't really know what works for you until you kind of try them all. So,
Yeah.
that was a great year for me, and I was fortunate to, I played pretty good. I almost got exempt into second stage that year. I didn't, but so that was when I, really learned a lot about being a pro, and that's kind of how it started. I've really kind of gone through every level. I started at the lowest levels of the mini tours and got onto a developmental tour in Latin America. Kind of sniffed it out there a little bit on the Corn Ferry Tour last year. Kind of got my feet wet a little, and didn't play very well last year, which was, I would say unfortunate, but I did it to myself. So, just got to play better. So now this year they combined the Canadian Tour and the Latin America Tour. Now it's just called PGA Tour Americas. So I'll be back on PGA Tour Americas, playing in South America and up in Canada. So that's kind of the story right there.
Did you have a house when you were
real
down
good.
in Latin America?
No, hell no. no.
I mean, no, not a house. I'm an idiot. House, car. I meant car. Did you have a car? Or were you just flying from Ecuador to Peru to Brazil?
Yeah, so I would fly. No, you would just fly the whole time. For me, and I think I only twice got a rental car. I got a rental car in Brazil. I got a speeding ticket in Brazil, actually.
What?
Yeah,
No.
that's one of them. Yeah, I was going like 13 kilometers an hour over, and I got caught by a camera. Cool. Even though I was getting passed by everybody on every road, because I was trying to be really careful about not getting a ticket, but apparently that didn't work. But for the most part, it's all Uber, or taxis. Usually I do those to get around in those countries. So.
And you're just living off the money that you make, right?
No, well, not necessarily. I mean, kind of and kind of not. Fortunately, I'm in a very blessed situation. My dad really, really helps my career. He really kind of funds me through, this last year in terms of like my actual earnings. It was not very good. I missed a lot of cuts. I played quite poorly. Before that, my first couple years, honestly, I did quite well on mini tours for myself. I kind of stayed. I would call myself staying kind of relatively zeroed out. I wasn't really, making money per se. Like I didn't have money to spend, but because it was essentially all the money I made was just simply going back into all my expenses, for the next tournament or for the next couple weeks or whatever it was. So I kind of stayed about zeroed out, pretty level for those first couple years, but last year was definitely a struggle. And I don't have currently right now, I don't have any sort of kind of like corporate sponsors that help me. Well, I guess, directly financially. So like for apparel wise, like I'm sponsored by Lacoste. I'm wearing the crocodile everywhere and stuff. Which that is helping me financially because I don't want to have to go buy my own clothes or anything like that, which is a big win because obviously, as we all know, golf clothes are incredibly expensive. So they're helping me, and cover that cost. But in terms of like actual money that's coming to me, like, oh, we'll have our logo right here and we'll pay you 10 grand or whatever. I don't have any of that. So, but yeah, I really have my dad to thank. There's a lot of different ways to do it in terms of kind of getting money for yourself because getting off the ground is really the hardest part for guys who are really good golfers, but they don't quite make it yet. I always relate it to the casino. This is probably, I mean, it might not be the best, but to do well or make money at the casino, you have to have staying power. So you have to be able to take some losses, but still have some money to keep gambling to try to get it back. Versus if you don't have money, you can't ever get off the ground to play professional golf. It's impossible. I mean, entry fees for mini tours are $1,000, and obviously, as we know, everything is really expensive right now. I mean, hotels and rental cars and travel and plane tickets. I mean, everything, and food, especially, everything is crazy expensive. So, some people, they sell shares of themselves. They kind of write up a one-page contract and send it around to, let's say, like the country club you grew up at, or the area you're from, or to friends, and say, I'm asking for $8,000 and I'll pay back 110% in due time. And so like you're really betting on yourself. You're putting yourself in other people's kind of debt. Hoping that you make it so you can pay them back.
Oh wow.
Sometimes some people are fortunate enough to have either a friend or a family friend or through a business or something where I just kind of say they have a sugar daddy. Like I know people who just have people who literally cover all their expenses, which is, that's great if you can get into that. If you know somebody like that. I also know some people who, this is a really tough one and one I would highly not, I mean, I guess I shouldn't say not recommend. Everybody's situation is different. So, if this is what you got to do to chase the dream, this is what you got to do. I know some people who, they sign contracts with, it would be an individual person where they will fund your life. They will pay your rent. They will pay, all your expenses, everything like that. But they get like a massive percentage of your earnings for as long as you're playing. So like, let's say you get to the PGA Tour, right? And you win on the PGA Tour and you have a 1.5 million check coming your way. Like you got a fat percent, like over, 60, whatever's crazy percentages going to this other guy. So, but sometimes it's what you got to do. Sometimes if you get into that scenario, everybody's different. Everybody comes from different means. It's not like college anymore, right? Where if you're on a scholarship and stuff's being paid for, like it's all on you at that time. So people, you got to turn to whatever you can to try to chase the dream. And so that's what I mean by staying power. If I'm going to be in debt to anybody, I want to be in debt to my dad. It sounds
exactly.
And now on the other flip of it too, like I am very internally motivated to try to, I don't want my dad to fund my life, I want him to live his life and I want to be my own individual, I want to be able to play well enough and start making money and, have my own thing going, and so it's not like I'm kind of just, kicking back like, oh, this is fine, everything's getting paid for, that's just not really how I operate. My dad is, I mean, shit, he might almost be more invested in this than I am, not financially, just, he wants me to make it just as bad as I do. So, it's great to kind of chase this thing together. I feel like I have a really good kind of team around me that, keeps me grounded and supports me and, picks me up when I need to. And he's obviously a major player in that. But yeah, so it's, no, I'm not rolling in money. That's for sure. But, knock on wood, like this year, I feel like I'm really ready to kind of turn the corner in terms of my career. I think this is going to be a good one. And hopefully I can, make that financial thing, a thing of the past. So.
Yeah.
That's sick, Alex. So, What's your upcoming schedule looking like?
Yeah, great question. So PJ Tour Americas, it starts here at the end of March. We go down to Mexico for the first two events, kind of Cancun area and then Guadalajara. So that's back-to-back weeks in Mexico. And then we have four more events after that down in South America. So we go Mexico, I think 2 weeks off. Then we go Brazil, Peru, Ecuador, 1 week off, Colombia. So
Oh
that's
wow.
that's how we start the year. I've played all the courses except for the one in Brazil. We're actually playing the Olympic course in Rio. So that was
Oh
that's
shit,
a
let's
really
go. That's sick.
yeah, that's a really big get for the tour. It'll be that's I mean I shouldn't speak too early, but it's probably going to be the best course we play. It's I've heard incredible things about Rio too, like just the city. I hear it's awesome. So I'm excited to go there. That's probably the one I'm really, really looking forward to, just experience something new. But yeah, I got that. And then once the Latin part's done, there's about a 5 or 6 week break until the Canada swing starts. And then kind of just go all over Canada starting kind of end of June or mid June and ends in like the first week of September, I think, or second week of September, something like that. Kind of it's 10 events over kind of 14 weeks or something like that up there. So yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing. If there's anything that happens in there in between, like I'm going to try to do U.S. Open qualifying. I know I got that on the schedule.
Yeah, I was just
Maybe
gonna ask about that. Where you
yeah.
gonna do that at?
So with how busy my schedule is, because the Latin part really kind of soaks up when a lot of the U.S. Open locals are played. So I had like a 3 day window to do it, and I was like, okay, like I hope one of them's close to me. And the closest one to me is up near Atlanta. So I have like a 5.5 hour drive here from Jax. But I don't, I think it's in Noonan, Georgia. I think it's just south of Atlanta. I got that on, I think it's the May second to last and last event, for the Latin swing. And then, if I were to advance through locals, I signed up for sectionals also in Atlanta. So the road to the U.S. Open runs through Georgia, baby. That's what I'm hoping on. I mean, I'm gonna be the biggest fan of the state of Georgia until I
Oh
get
yeah.
knocked out. So,
Oh yeah.
but yep.
Who'd you caddy?
So I don't really have a full-time caddy. It kind of depends on where I'm at. So if I'm in Latin America, for the most part, I've had a guy who is known as Par Three. He's about 4'11". He's 60 years old, from Buenos Aires, and we can't talk to each other.
What?
He can't speak any English, and I can barely speak Spanish. So we're just there for the vibes.
How
It's
does
just
that
a
work?
great time. Well, it's just he's actually a very experienced caddy. He's kind of caddied all over the world. And like he's caddied over on European Challenge Tour for Tano Goya back when he was over there. And so I don't know why he wants me, but I got paired up with him back in 2022, my first year down there, and I thought it was going to kind of be a one-off thing. I thought he just had me for the week as like a local, and then he was going to try to get on somebody else's bag. But I made the cut, and he was like, I'm going to the next event. You want me again? I'm like, well, yeah, sure. I played good this week. So we just kept at it. We kept going to every event together, and dude, I mean, he's a legend down there. I mean, everybody knows him. Everybody knows him. I mean, every
He's sweet.
stop, every course we go to, everybody knows who Par Three is, and
Par
so
three.
and he just sticks.
That's
Yeah,
great.
he just sticks to me, and I'm like, yeah. If you go on my Instagram and if you scroll down a little bit, there's a picture of me in like a red shirt, and I got my arm around him like this. That's him.
Okay.
And he, so I got to text him again actually because it's about coming up. I don't know if he's going to be able to go to Mexico because that's a long way away for him, but. The rest of the four events, I mean, I'm likely going to have him on the bag when I'm
This
down in
time
Latin
for
America. Yes, sir. That's him. That's my man. That's
Par
my man,
three.
dude. Yeah, Par Three, baby. He is the man. So
That's great.
yeah. So we just have a ball. I mean, it's just all about the vibes. Like I said, we can't even talk to each other, but it's great. It's an awesome time. And then when I was on Corn Ferry last year, when I was in the States for the most part, I had a guy named Corey Schumott. So actually, he doesn't even caddy anymore. He just lives in Nashville. He ended up taking a different job, but dude, caddying is a tough gig, man. Like I felt really happy for him though. So he was with me for like my 3 or 4 stateside Corn Ferry events, and I didn't make any of the cuts when he was on the bag for me. So obviously, that's directly affecting his pay because his pay is directly affected on how I play. So, but he was a great guy, and he had like a soccer background, but he really wanted to get into caddying, and he was very good. Like we meshed well together. He knew what to say in the right times, and I probably haven't told this to him, but I kind of wish he would have talked more because I felt like as we talked, it kind of calmed me down and kept me in the place I needed to be. But then I felt really happy for him because we did make the cut together in Greenville actually. So we were playing the BMW charity in Greenville, South Carolina. He's on the bag for me, and I make my first cut. So we're like, fuck yeah, let's go. And so we're having a great time. But he tells me during the final round, I moved into the field for next week's event, which was in Wichita, and so he was like super happy for me. But he's like, dude, like I committed to somebody else's bag, like I can't be on your back. I'm like, dude, no problem. Because it's business, he's trying to make a living, and so he's got to take somebody's bag that he can knowingly get because he didn't know I was going to be in the field. So I'm like, dude, like he was like so apologetic and everything, and I'm like, dude, it's all business. Like it's good. Like we're fine. Like I'll get some 17-year-old local caddy, which is exactly what I did. I was like, I'll get some 17-year-old local kid who wants to caddy for me or whatever. So I'm like, whose bag are you getting on? And he goes, Ricky Castillo's. And Ricky won that week. His first week.
No way.
Yeah.
No way.
That was Ricky's first pro event because he didn't get into the Corn Ferry event the week prior. So he gets into Wichita and he wins in a playoff.
Oh, wow.
So I texted Corey. I was like, hey, man. Nice financial decision to switch over to Ricky.
Yeah, exactly, right?
I missed the cut that week in like flying colors. I missed the cut by like 5. So he texted me. It was all good fun, and he's like, dude, thank you, man. Like, yeah, it was a great week. So yeah, he was on his bag the rest of the year, and so it all works out. I'm always happy for that kind of stuff. I feel it's kind of funny. Like golf is obviously it's a very selfish, very ego sport, like it's you're the man in the arena. There's nobody to pass the ball to, nobody to block for you, nothing like that. It's just on you and your caddy, your caddy's part of your team helping you there too, but he's not hitting the shots, you are. So when I would say I'm a pretty friendly guy. Like I've met a lot of people through pro golf, which is a blessing. I know people all over the country who are playing on all sorts of tours, and I follow them all. And I always text those guys, congrats. Actually, one of my good buddies this week Monday qualified into the Cognizant, or the old Honda Classic.
Yeah.
So so awesome. I was super pumped for him. Texting him and everything, but man, part of me like. I gotta be a little more selfish. That's what I'm telling myself. It's like I'm this last this last year I had a lot of, I would call it learning. When you don't get what you want, you get experience. And so I had a lot of bumps in the road last year. Didn't make a lot of cuts. Was really struggling. And I saw some guys, especially here in Jacksonville, a lot of guys really took off. Had some really good finishes on Corn Ferry, or even got their PGA Tour card, and I would practice with them, all the time. And I'm just like, man, what is going on here? I'm like, why am I not like these guys? Why am I not at this level? And so, I was just, honestly, I was thinking about that, like, as I'm turning into this year, I'm just like, dude, like, I got to do something where people congratulate me. I'm like, come on. Like, I got to get out there and start playing better. And, so I do think, I've made what I would say the necessary changes. I've been working on my game, on my golf swing. I've made a couple minor equipment changes and what I think would help me. And so, I think this will be a big year, and but I'm never gonna not root for people. I love seeing other guys succeed because if these are the people I've been around and they're succeeding, that means that just breeds it. Putting yourself in that environment, being around other people who are successful, you're gonna raise yourself to that level whether you knowingly do it or not. And so, for me, that's always going to be who I am, but I'm also trying to beat him at the same time. So it's a weird sport. You do have to be selfish in a manner. Like you got to be selfish in some ways because it really is. It comes down to you. Whatever you got to do to get yourself in the right physical and mental space to play your best golf. I mean, as long as it's not anything illegal, like go ahead. So, but yeah, hopefully, that's how this year's going to turn out for me. So
That's sweet. One last thing, Alex.
yeah,
You're a
what's
big Detroit sports fan.
up? Hell yeah, dude.
How are we feeling about
Let's
the
go.
Red Wings this year?
Dude, okay, so actually it's kind of funny. I just had the game on before this started.
Oh shit, we're
Dude,
playing tonight.
yeah.
Are we?
They're playing the Capitals. They were
Yeah, we're playing the Caps tonight.
They were absolutely smacking them. They were up 4-1 when I came into my room here. So
Who the Wings are up 4-1?
Yeah.
Let's go.
So
Stay hot.
they
Playing so well right now. I love it.
Actually, this is kind of a good story. So I don't know a whole lot about hockey. I kind of got into it a little late. I went to some Grand Rapids Griffins games and stuff when I was in college. It really wasn't for the hockey, but
Right? Yeah. Oh yeah, you're lighting up those $2 beer nights there at Van Andel, right?
$2 beers, $2
What'd they
bombs,
do?
dude. He's just the best deal ever.
$2
You can't
beer,
beat
$2
it.
glizzies too.
Yeah,
No
yeah.
way.
Yeah. It's
Let's go.
unbelievable. College night. Inflation probably brought it to like $3 now, but what can I say?
Right.
So so this past summer in 2023, I get invited to replace a guy who I think he like hurt his back a couple days before the Red Wings outing, and it was played at Traverse City Country Club. I'm a member there. It's where I grew up, and I was like, yeah, I'd love to play in it. It sounds like a great time. It's just get out, have some silly golf, play a scramble. I don't get to do that very often, so
Right.
we show up and they kind of have like this little draft thing. You get to, depending on your pick, you get to pick the player you want to play with. So we get the first pick. So we pick Dylan Larkin. And so I was like, okay, this is awesome because this is the only guy I know. Like I didn't follow hockey that well. So and he's, this was kind of wild. As we were talking, he goes, I think he's 1 year older than me. I think he's 28, and he's like, how long have you been a pro? And I'm like, this is my 4th year. And I go, how long have you been a pro? He's like, oh, well, this is my 9th season in the NHL. I was like, what?
Bro, that's actually nuts to think about. I didn't even know he.
Yeah.
When was this past summer?
Yeah, this is in summer of 23. So
Wow.
So we played, and it was awesome. We win the scramble. I get a signed jersey by him. I actually got it framed. It's sitting out in my living room right now.
That's
I still have
sick.
to hang it. But we so for winning it though, we get two free tickets to any home game, regular season home game that we wanted. So December 29th, I decided to go with my best friend from college, Mitchell White. He's a diehard Red Wings fan. He watches every single game. And so I sent a message to Larkin. I was like, hey, man, hope all is good. They were on like a 6-game losing streak, by the way. I was like, hope all is good. Going to the game on the 29th, would love to say hi if possible. If not, it's whatever. I just really shot it out there. Really no expectations.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not like I barely know the dude. Like I played 18 holes with him, right? So he gets back to me and he's like, yeah, dude, like, I'll have you come down after the game and, we'll say hi. And I was like, oh, sick. So, Mitchell is really stoked to go meet him because, he's just a big fan. And so we finish up, so we get to the game. Actually, we get to the game. Larkin scores shorthanded the first goal of the game. So we go up 1-0, and I was like, sick. I'm like, he scored. That's great. goes into overtime. We win in overtime. I mean, it was a crazy game. And then if you look, since that game, since December 29th, they have been on this streak. They have been
Oh, yeah.
absolutely killing
They're
it.
tearing it
And
up.
so
Oh yeah.
yeah, so we went down. It was great. So we go down to meet up with him, and we kind of, the first thing I asked him, he was talking about how he's thinking about joining Oakland Hills and stuff like that. I was asking him if he joined out there, but we kind of hit this like little lull in the conversation. Like I didn't really know what to say, and my buddy didn't really know what to say. So Larkin goes, "Oh, you want to come back to the locker room?" We were like,
No way.
"Hell yeah, we do." So we got to go back there, and yeah, we got to see everything and stuff. I mean, it was balling, yeah. So that was the first Red Wings game I've ever been to in my life. So it's probably not going to be topped at any time soon. So
Yeah, you're good.
but yeah,
you don't
so,
gotta go
so
that
ever,
anymore.
yeah. So ever since then, like, you know, I've been following because it's like, now I'm a fan, you know, like it's great because I never played hockey growing up or anything like that. So it just wasn't really my sport. And, but you know, now I'm following them, but yeah, I had the game on out there and dude, I mean, they're looking great. Like
Oh yeah.
it just goes to show like what confidence can do for you. Like, you know, they're just riding a high right now, like winning that game. And you know, everybody was actually expecting them to have like an emotional letdown, like after winning that game because, you know, Kane scores the game winner against his former team and everything. And then they come out and they threw up 2 goals in the first like 7 minutes on the Caps, and everybody's like, oh, never mind. Like, here we go. So, yeah. No,
I just got
dude,
an
it's-
update. The Wings won. Let's see. Wait up. Wings won 8-3 tonight. Very well.
Wait, yeah. So, dude, Detroit's in a they're in a weird spot right now. Like, obviously, you know, the Lions, we're in a great spot. You know, they should have won that game, but I don't have to go there. The Red Wings are
Yeah,
great.
don't go
You
there.
know, the Red Wings are scoring a lot of goals. They're a fun team to watch, similar to the Lions. You know, Lions put up a bunch of points. There were, you know, a lot of trick plays here and
true.
there, fun to watch. Tigers, supposedly, they're saying that this is going to be the year that they kind of
They'll be
finally
good.
start to make the turn. Yeah, they
be
said
good.
that they have a solid chance, and then then the Pistons.
The Stones.
baby.
You don't gotta worry about talking about them.
Yeah,
You watched that
Dude,
game the other
they-
night.
Like some
but see, the thing is like I'm a basketball fan. It was my first love. You know, like it's everything in terms of like I love watching basketball, college or the NBA. So I really want. I know the Pistons will turn it around eventually, but man, it's like everything that we can do wrong, we do wrong, and even if it's not in our control. Like
Yeah, exactly,
I saw the stat. So we were the worst team in the league, record wise, last year. So ever since the lottery, like when they made the top 3 teams have equal chance or whatever to get the first pick. So it's whatever that started like 11 years ago. The last 10 or the previous 10 seasons, the team with the worst record in the NBA, they never fell below the 3rd pick. We got the 5th pick.
Yeah,
How is that
Horseshit.
possible?
horseshit.
It is so rigged. I mean, like,
Yeah.
and the thing is every single NBA draft now, the first 2 or 3 picks are gonna likely be good. You know, whether
yeah.
they're like all stars or just solid players. And then there's always like one random, you know, 20th pick who ends up being good. The 5th pick is like the hardest pick to have because
Yeah. Oh yeah.
you're not gonna get like a surefire like stud, you know, and like Osser, right? Like everything was pointing like he is a good player, he's a great defensive player and stuff, but like imagine if we had Wemby. You know, that's what I'm saying is like
Right.
if you kind of have something like that go your way in a draft, you know, hopefully that happens for us this year, but yeah, they, you know, I really do like. I mean, it sounds like I'm being pretty hard on them, which I am. But the thing is like they do have some young talent. Like if they can get one nice draft pick and then maybe, you know, throw some money at a guy to come in and be like a star, but also kind of someone who's been around for a bit, like a veteran, and get those young guys going. Like they're not that far off. It looks like they're way off. It looks like they're way off given the record, but they're really
Right.
not that. They're really not that far away from being what I
Exactly.
would call like at least a solid NBA team. So
I
that's,
agree.
you know, I'm sure they'll turn it around eventually, but no, dude, Detroit is buzzing right now. Like it's so good for not even just that city. Like it's so good for the state. Like I felt like
100%.
for so long there, you know, we just didn't really have anything. You know, all 4 sports were kind of struggling, and nobody really kind of lost the faith. Like everybody just kept saying they're going to turn around, and fortunately they are right now. So it's been so much fun to watch. I mean, it's a great time. I just feel like everybody's mental health is just better when Detroit sports are
So
going.
much
You know,
better.
it's
So
it's
much
just the
better.
way it's supposed to be. It's just
Without
the
a doubt.
way, how can you not be romantic about Detroit? That's what I try to say.
Yeah,
so.
exactly. All right,
Yeah.
cool, brother. Hey, Dixon and Ninner, you boys got anything else or no?
Alex, it was a blast having you on. I appreciate everything you've said.
Appreciate you
Everything.
coming on, brother.
We
Yeah,
wish you
thank
the
you, guys.
best
Appreciate
of
it.
luck this season. We'll keep a watch.
Yes, no doubt.
Yeah,
Hey,
thank you, guys.
Good luck moving forward for sure.
Yeah, if there's anything if there's any info or anything you want, you got me on socials or whatever. So just shoot me a message. I'll be more than willing to answer. So
Appreciate you, dog.
Is
Thanks for coming
the
on.
Cherry Festival overrated?
the first time you go, no, it's not. It's great.
But at this point
once,
in your life,
yeah. The beer tent is very inviting, bro. The beer tent is great. The beer tent is great. I go back for that every year. But other than that, yeah, I don't really have to do any of the festivities. It's just the alcohol tastes good. The music's pretty good. So that's what I'm there for. So.
Oh yeah. All right, Alex. Hey, appreciate you coming on. Good luck moving forward. Season's getting underway here pretty soon, so good luck with everything. We'll stay in touch. All right.
Thank you, guys. Yep, sure will. Thank you for having me on.
of course, coming on, brother.
Anytime.
Yep.